What's up, Ace of all ages? Dancing Joker here, and today I'm bringing you our Season 3 GCL draft analysis. And this draft was a little bit different than before because we decided last season that UUBL would be OU and the rest would be of their respective tiers. But now, UUBL is OU, RUBL is UU, NUBL is RU, and anything below NU counted as NU. So, with that being said, let me get into the draft analysis. As always, we picked 4 Pokemon from OU, 4 from UU, 3 Pokemon from OU, UU, RU, and NU. And as I said, we do have the Pokemon from a separate tiers that count as Pokemon from other tiers. So, like how PU is counted as NU. So our first part of the draft was the OU picks, and mainly because this was going to be the strongest Pokemon that we get access to, and it's basically going to show how our team is going to be, like how we're building our teams, and most likely what Z Crystal we're getting. So, my first draft pick was none other than Magearna, and Magearna is incredibly good with Steel and Fairy typing, as well as the ability Soul Heart, which boosts its special attack when a Pokemon faints. And it's also got 115 defense and special defense, and 130 special attack. So it's a powerhouse that can also take some hits. Its speed isn't really the best, but it also gets shift gear to help with that. And yeah, that was basically my reasoning for this. I just wanted a really strong hitter. And it just so happened that the strongest hitter that I got was a Pokemon with a Fairy typing and Steel typing as well. The second Pokemon I got was none other than Gliscor. And the reason I got Gliscor was because one of my main priorities for this was hazards. Hazards are an incredibly important part of Wi-Fi battling and battling over, let's say, Pokemon Showdown. Gliscor has an incredibly weird speed because it doesn't look fast, but it's actually got 95 base speed. Its base speed is higher than Mega Garchomp for some reason. It also gets access to Stealth Rocks as well as Defog. So it can set up hazards, it can get rid of hazards. It also gets access to Knockoff, which can help, let's say, some Eviolite users. And it also has Poison Heal, so it can heal itself with that, as well as Roost. And an astounding 125 base defense. So it can basically take nearly any hit on the physical side. I say nearly because there's moves that are 4 times super effective, like Ice Punch. And that's basically all we have to look out for. And the next Pokemon I got was a return from Season 2, none other than Harley Jade, the Mega Tyranitar. And the reason I took Mega Tyranitar was I wasn't sure what exactly I wanted from this tier. I wasn't sure what else I wanted, and I knew I wanted something that could hit hard, but also take hits. That's kind of where my team is going. And Mega Tyranitar has base 100 HP, base 150 defense, base 120 special defense, so it can take hits really well, and base 164 attack. It's also another Stealth Rock setter, as well as a Pokemon with a really wide range of moves, such as Rock Slide, Shadow Claw, Super Power, Ice Punch, Fire Punch. It also gets access to Dragon Dance as well. It gets Aqua Tail, and it just gets a whole lot of different moves. It even gets Thunder Wave for some reason, if I want to like paralyze something so I can outspeed it the next turn. But yeah, that's what I picked for my OU Pokemon. I thought it was really good. And I accidentally drafted a Sandstorm team for my OU picks. But the next Pokemon we picked were from NU. So, the first Pokemon I picked from NU was Slowbro. And the reason for this is because Slowbro is probably one of my favorite Pokemon because of its bulk and its attacks and special attack stat, I should say, being really high, and the fact that it has Regenerator. So if something's not going well, I can switch out. It also has access to Iron Defense and Amnesia, I'm pretty sure. So if I want to stall, I can just Iron Defense and Amnesia. It also could be made both special or physical because it gets Curse and Calm Mind. And yeah, it's basically a really good Pokemon that can take hits and also restore HP because it even gets Slack Off as well. But the next Pokemon I decided to get would be Hitmontop. And the reason for Hitmontop is because I wanted a fighting type. And I was debating between this or Scrafty. But I already had a dark type. Also, Hitmontop gets access to Rapid Spin, along with its bulk being 95 defense and 110 special defense. It gets access to Rapid Spin, and it also has Intimidate. It also gets a really good range of moves, such as High Jump Kick and Earthquake, and even access to Fake Out. And it also gets priority too, like Mach Punch or Bullet Punch. And yeah, that's basically all there is for Hitmontop. My last Pokemon from NU, I was struggling to think of what to get, but in the end, I decided to take Silvally Steel. And the reason for Silvally Steel is because I wanted Silvally, but I wasn't sure which one I wanted. So I just took Silvally Steel. For now, I may end up switching it, but if I do, that means I'm going to have to switch Silvally Steel for something else, and that's going to be one of my FAs. Because once Silvally was taken, all the Silvallis were gone. Which is also partly why I got Slowbro instead of Slowking. So Mega Slowbro would not be available for others. But yeah, it's also really powerful with 95 base stats across the board. Gets access to Parting Shot. It also gets access to Defog. And it also gets access to moves like Tailwind, Swords Dance, and it's just a really good Pokemon that I really want to use in this league. Just to see how well it goes. I may end up switching to typing sometime soon, but we'll see what happens. So that was all my NU picks, and the next tier that we picked was Pokemon from UU. And the Pokemon I picked from UU start off with another return from Season 2, Amoonguss. Amoonguss is great. It basically saved me from placing close to last in the last season. Because I originally got Celebi, and then I originally wanted Amoonguss, but I got Celebi instead. And then I traded Celebi for Amoonguss, and this thing saved me. With its 114 base HP, it's able to take hits with base 70 and base 80 defense and special defense respectively. It gets access to Regenerator, so it can swap to heal itself. And that goes really well with my Amoonguss and Slowbro core of regenerating. It also gets access to Spore and Toxic and Synthesis. It can also be made physical or special because it's got really good moves for both. It also gets access to Clear Smogs, so if anything starts setting up, I can bring this in and Clear Smog it. And that's all there is for Amoonguss. My next pick was Rotom Heat. The reason for it was because I didn't have an electric type and I didn't have a fire type. And I was wondering what I could get that could help me with these typings. And I decided Rotom Heat would be good because of its 107 base defenses. It's also got access to Defog, also gets access to Will-O-Wisp, Pain Split, Volt Switch. I can even run a Trick Set with Choice Scarf. It also gets access to foul play if I want to hit a Pokemon that's really frail but has super sky high attack. And yeah, that's essentially all there is for Rotom. It's a Rotom. Lots of people know what it does in competitive. The next Pokemon I got was a bit of a wild card. Because I wasn't sure what I wanted to get, but I got Latias. And the reason for this is because I wanted a dragon type, but I wasn't sure what I wanted for a dragon type. So this thing ended up becoming my 5th hazard remover with Defog. It also gets access to Recover and Roost. It's also really strong because of its 110 special attack and 130 special defense, as well as its 110 speed. I was thinking about getting Mega Latias in OU, but I ended up deciding to get Latias here. There's not really too much to say because it's just a dragon typing. It also prevented some people from getting Mega Latias in OU. And yeah, this was a bit of a strange one because I wasn't sure what I wanted for my dragon typing, and I was really hoping that my RU picks would glue my team together. But yeah, that's it for my UU picks. All my UU picks I thought were really good. I just wasn't sure how well they went with my team. Looking at my team without the RU picks, it's kind of all over the place. Like there are powerhouses, but there's some work that needs to be done fixing what needs to be fixed. So my first RU pick was none other than Cresselia. This thing is bulk with a capital BULK. It's got 120 base HP, 120 base defense, 130 special defense, and it gets access to Calm Mind, Moonlight. It also gets access to Thunder Wave or Toxic, depending on what you want as status. It also gets Calm Mind, so if you have any special attackers, there's little to no way that's going to be able to get over it. It also gets access to Light Screen and Reflect as well. Part of me wanted to try like a Trick Room Lunar Dance combo. Like I could Trick Room and then Lunar Dance into, let's say, my Mega T-Tar or my Slowbro. And then just run house on a lot of the team. I don't know how well it's going to work, especially now since I just said it on my draft analysis. But yeah, I decided that Cresselia would be a good bulky Pokemon that's good utility as well. My next Pokemon is going to be Snorlax. Probably one of the best Pokemon in RU, but that's up for debate. But it does have 160 base HP, 110 base attack, and special defense as well. And it gets access to Amnesia. It also has Gluttony with Figgy Berry, so if I want to run a Belly Drum set, I can do Belly Drum, Gluttony, Figgy Berry, and then I don't know what I'm going to do from there because Snorlax is really slow at base 30 HP, or base 30 speed, I should say. But it does get a lot of good moves in terms of variety. It gets Seed Bomb, it gets Superpower, it gets Thunder Punch, even Wild Charge, Zen Headbutt, Gunk Shot, Earthquake. And I did want Porygon 2, but I ended up getting sniped. So Snorlax is the Pokemon that I end up picking. Is it a good replacement? Sort of, not really. But my next Pokemon is probably an even worse pick than this in terms of replacements. The next Pokemon is Galvantula. Galvantula was a really weird pick for me because, number one, I wanted Cofagrigus. That got sniped from me. So the only other ghost type that was available was Hoopa. Or I could have taken Mega Banette, but I would have had 2 Megas. But Galvantula is a good secondary hazard setter because it gets access to Sticky Webs. It also gets access to Thunder Wave, so if something's off the ground, I can Thunder Wave it instead. It also gets access to Disable if I know something's choice. It gets access to Sucker Punch and Volt Switch, and it's just pretty good utility. There's not really too much to say about Galvantula. It's kind of there, and I ended up finding out after the draft that Ribombee is an option that I could have gotten, but it may come to the team. I don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, that is my entire team for the GCL. But there was one more part of the draft. You guys remember it, the Z Crystal. So my Z Crystal ended up being Farium Z. The reason I took Farium Z was I wanted Psychium Z to take advantage of the fact that I have 3 Psychic types, but that was taking me right before. So my backup was Farium Z. Because I had that Magearna, I can Z Floor Cannon, kill something, get +1, normal Floor Cannon, kill something, go -2, and then +1. I can also use it for my Cresselia. I know Rotom gets Fairy Wind if I'm not mistaken, but I don't know how often I'm going to be using it on something else other than Magearna. But regardless, that is going to be it for my draft analysis. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed and you're psyched to see the Salem Simians in action, don't forget to hit that thumbs up like button down below. And as always, I'll catch you later.